What's the biggest difficulty you have in communicating with other people?
Probably, experiencing experiencing fear of any kind. Can be a hurdle in communicating with people. It can be all sorts of like what other people will think about me, or how will I look, and things like that.
Sometimes I struggle with articulating how I want to word stuff and get it out, but usually I don't really have that much of a problem. I don't like texting with people. I think it's a regression.
Sometimes it's hard for me to say no energetically and just to say no. Like, I don't want to talk about this, or I'm not interested in this conversation, or I gotta go. When people interact with me and want to talk to me about stuff, like, I'll engage more often than not, even if I don't feel like it.
I don't always say what I need to say because I'm worried about hurting the other person's feelings or them hearing something that they don't want to hear.
Being misunderstood when I might not say it the way that I mean it, and they'll take it the wrong way. And usually then I got to turn around, try and re-explain, and then they're switching everything all around, and I'm like, well, I don't mean it the way you thinking, but goodbye.
Sometimes I don't read other people so well. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I think in my mind things are clear, and I express them in a way that I feel is like very clear, but there's some, I guess the translation or the interpretation is different than I had intended. Vagueness leads to many different interpretations of something. Yeah.
I can be really bad at listening. I'm a bad listener unless I am activating that part of my brain, which gets in the way of communicating.
I think the biggest difficulty is making my intentions behind my actions make sense to people, for people to understand my train of thought, having anxiety and depression, the way my mind works. Specifically with anxiety and depression, you blow people off a lot. You don't answer texts or calls, and it's people think you're ignoring them or hanging out with other people, or you don't like them, and that's kind of one of the classic tough things about depression is that you just don't want to talk to people. So communicating intentions like that is tough.
That's a profound question, sir. I think as an only child, one of the difficult things for me is not being perceived as clingy. What to me is enthusiasm, getting to know people, can be perceived as, not that I haven't done it before, because I have, just finding that balance of being able to let go and be present, and then when they want to leave, wish them well when they leave.
Trying to express my thoughts out to someone that's on a different track. Or sometimes at work, one colleague's got one way of doing it, and sometimes someone else sees an easier way. I just try to persuade them to do it the easier way, but it's up to them. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
I like to solve the problem before I hear the whole story. I'm a solver, so that when I hear part of something, I want to act in something that's not my own. So I think that the communication gets broken down where I don't actually hear everything or what they want, but instead I just want to do something instead, and that feels like it brings too much to the table in communication, where I'm not listening to hear, but listening to do. Then I think that ends conversation.
I'm very shy sometimes, and I get self-conscious, which I think proceeds from a kind of megalomania, where I really want to be awesome and be thought of as being awesome. And so then sometimes I think I get so concerned with trying to be awesome that I get either gun shy or too wordy or too contrarian and too interested in the surfaces of forms rather than the real substance of things. And then I feel to be understood.
Often people won't take my words seriously. It's like I'll say something and it's irrelevant, or it's just completely not acknowledged. So it's difficult to have any conversation with someone who won't even acknowledge the words that are coming out of your mouth.
I think learning to be quiet and listening more and talking less. Yeah. I don't have much trouble talking to people. I have a lot of trouble kind of stopping and hearing what they've got to say.
Thinking they already know what I'm thinking. Like, not being able to, like, assuming somebody knows, like, that I'm coming from a place of good intentions, that things that I'm saying are not necessarily, like, meant to be literally interpreted. I joke around a lot, I'm pretty sarcastic, so I always assume that people are picking up on that, and it surprises me whenever somebody points out that they can never tell when I'm serious or not. So yeah, I think that kind of gets in the way a lot of times. So I just need to sort of understand that people are not living in my head. Thank God.